Let's take a look at one of the decade's greatest films that illustrates my theory. It's Bernardo Bertolucci's Last Tango in Paris, in which a middle-aged American widower, bitter over his wife's suicide, picks up a young, free-spirited, hippie-type Parisian girl and tries to create a world in which he can dominate her and not be hurt himself. A world in a vacant apartment, a world without names, just the two of them, Marlon Brando and Maria Schneider. A powerful scene. To me, that's a real encounter. Brando's anger comes out of his outrage at the unfairness of life, at his frustration at growing old and at being alone. Last Tango in Paris is a whole world of anger, expressed verbally and sexually, a world as real and as powerful as any I've ever experienced. This is one of my theories of what makes a great film. I like movies that are complete unto themselves, seamless, movies that draw us up to the screen, make us forget that we're sitting in a movie theater seat, movies full of characters that can be discussed like we might discuss members of our own family. I like movies that create a complete world, that you can talk about them after you leave the theater.
Well, we could do that right now. I certainly know what you mean about the world that's created in Last Tango in Paris, which has got to have one of Marlon Brando's greatest performances. And the world that he's trying to create for himself and for Maria Schneider, the world that shuts out the outside, the pain and the hurt that he feels about the fact that his wife has died, is so real, and he is so real there that he's about as real as anybody I know in real life.
Yes.
Somebody you can talk about how he would behave, how he would react.
Yeah. Our so-called ideal film, one of the first films we saw as a critic that helped set a personal standard forevermore. I can think of no better drama than Bernardo Bertolucci's 1972 film, Last Tango in Paris. I was 3 years a film critic. This one really took hold of me. In fact, I saw it 3 times before I wrote my review. I just wanted to see more of it, to try and write more about it. And I got a feeling of what it was like to be a critic and try and write in a print medium about something that is so great, in a visual and oral medium, and it was a real challenge. Last Tango in Paris is the story of an angry man, Marlon Brando, angry at getting old, angry at his wife committing suicide, and desperate to start life anew. He picks up a French girl, played by Maria Schneider, and here is my favorite scene in the movie. Marlon Brando talks about his ideal world with no names, no history, a fresh, newborn beginning. What a universal dream. Fighting aging, fighting mistakes, starting over. So many movies these days, from Back to the Future to Peggy Sue Got Married, are about revisiting the past. Well, here's the most mature statement on that oft-felt subject that I have ever seen. I love the film as is. I wish it had run on for hours longer. I could have stayed with those characters for a long, long time. The challenge it represents for other films is to push the limits of emotion and not turn the movies into bad TV, which is so afraid of reality. When Marlon Brando got angry in this film, Roger, that's anger. It's real. That's the standard of this film.
And this movie, once again, could probably not be made today, not so much for the sexual content as for the maturity of the film, the fact that it really goes into somebody who is that complicated. Movie characters today are all cookie cutter. They all have the same emotions.
And so many people...
Doesn't it make you, as we've gone on in this show, haven't you started thinking how the movies are so pale today and so safe and so machine-made and so corporate compared to when we were starting?
How many stars would talk about themselves the way Brando does in this film? Bertolucci has said that this is Brando confessing his life on film.
There are a few stars who would do it, but where are they going to get the director, the screenplay, and the studio to let them do it?